What's up, everybody? I'm Amish Country Mets fan here for another Mets series preview. The Mets take on the Tigers for a 3-game set. Last night, the series was supposed to start, but we got rained out once again. The Mets come in 4-6 in their last 10, losing 2-3 to the Braves. Split that doubleheader, and then they lost that rain-shortened game on Friday. The Tigers roll in 3-7 in their last 10. They lost 3-4 to the Orioles. First game is at 1:40 p.m. today. Joey Lucchesi takes the mound for us. He's 1-0 with a 2.19 ERA. Joey Wentz takes the mound for the Tigers. He's 0-3 with a 6.45 ERA. Something to keep an eye on. Javi Baez hits Lucchesi pretty well in 7 at-bats. Not a big sample size, but he does have 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and a 7.14 batting average. So hopefully Joey can remedy that. Wentz has never faced the Mets. He's a young kid. This is only his second season. Throws a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 85, 86 mile-an-hour cutter, curve that sits around 78, and a change at 87. Mostly a fastball cutter guy, though. So we'll see if we can finally beat up on a lefty. So that's the first game. For the second game, Mad Max is back. Max Scherzer is back from a 10-game suspension. He's 2-1 with a 3.72 ERA. Let's hope he's sharp and can give us at least 5 or 6 innings. It's been a while since we've seen him. Obviously, that when he got kicked out of that game in LA, he was actually looking pretty solid. But we'll see how it goes. We're taking on Michael Lorenzen, who's 0-1 with a 7.07 ERA. Mostly a fastball, sinker, change, slider guy. Fastball sits around 95 miles an hour. Not a big history against the Mets, so I won't run the numbers there. The Mets should be able to hit. He's the kind of guy that the Mets should be able to hit, but we'll see. Marte's the only guy with like an extensive history against him. He's hits 353 with a 1 home run and 4 RBIs. So we'll see how that goes. Then tomorrow, Justin Verlander makes his much-anticipated Mets debut back in Detroit to face his old squad. So that'll be interesting. Eduardo Rodriguez takes the mound for the Tigers. He's 2-2 with a 2.1 ERA. He throws a fastball around 92 miles an hour. He throws that about 50% of the time. And then he throws a cutter and a curve that each hit around 88 miles an hour. So he's a soft-tossing lefty. I always say the Mets have trouble with lefties, but we need to take this series. So either way, we need to find a way against one of these lefties. Hopefully they can beat them both up. So I'd like to take 2 or 3 this series. If we could take 3, that would be amazing. We're going into a stretch of like 13 games against pretty bad teams. We all know the Mets like to play down to the competition sometimes, but I'm looking for 9-4 in these 13. 10-3 would be awesome. But yeah, we need to finally step up and get our groove going, especially now that we're getting some of our starters back. It's time, man. It's time to go on a little run here. I'll finish off with the what I like to call the tail of the tape. Just run down the stats between the two teams. The Mets come in with a 242 batting average, which is 18th in baseball. The Tigers are at 222, which is 28th. On base percentage, the Mets are at 334, which is 8th in baseball. The Tigers are at 290, which is 29th. Slugging percentage, the Mets are at 393, 17th in all of baseball. The Tigers are at 338, which is dead last. The Mets have a 727 OPS, which is right middle of the pack, 15th in baseball. The Tigers are 628, which is, again, dead last. Team ERA, the Mets sit at 4.48, which is 19th, and the Tigers at 4.80, which is 22nd. You look at the tail of the tape there, says the Mets should take the series, but obviously we know these games aren't played on paper, and those numbers really don't mean that much. So, 3-game sets. First game's today, 1:40 p.m. Stay tuned for after the second game. Me and Chris from the What's the Static podcast are going to do a little live stream to recap the day. So please, if you're watching this, check that out. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend. Be on the lookout for episode 2 of the Amish Apple podcast. I think I'm going to start dropping those every Friday. I think that's going to be the goal. I'm going to do every Friday. I'm going to do the podcast episode. So be on the lookout for that. I got some interviews coming up in those. Trying to set those up. So yeah, let's go Mets. Let's get 2 today. Let's do it. There's no reason we can't. Let's go Mets.